Welcome to Suburban Homestead blog. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some laundry detergent from basically 4 ingredients: water, Fells Naphtha soap, borax, and super washing soda. So I'm going to basically just show you how I do it, and this process only takes about 20 minutes, something like that, to make the actual soap, and then it takes 24 hours to congeal into more of a gelatin type of substance. And I usually make a 5-gallon bucket full of soap, and that lasts about a month with our family of 8 people and a lot of laundry. So let's get started. First of all, I have to grate the soap. I do it by hand, which is quite tedious, and you have to use a lot of muscle to do it that way, but that's the best way I find, because I don't want to do it in a food processor and end up ruining the food processor or something that you would be using for food, and it might leave a film or residue that would put a kind of a soapy taste into the food. So I'm going to just shred this up, and I usually use 2 full bars for extra strength. The recipe that I used is from the Duggars family book that they wrote, and they suggest that you only use 1 bar, and the bars are about this big. You can find them at Kroger or Walmart. I don't know exactly how much they cost per bar, but they're very inexpensive. It's very inexpensive. But I only have 2 half bars today, so I'll use what I have. While I am shredding, I'm usually getting water, not quite boiling, but almost up to a boil in a large stock pot. You can use, I'm using this size right here, but you could use, a fat and squatty pan, whatever, just large enough that you can fill it up basically to about 1 inch from the top. Okay, so now I have water in my stock pot, and I'm about 1 inch from the top, full of water. I got it on high, and I'm going to be over here grating the soap, just keeping an eye on it. You don't want it to boil, so you don't want it to come to a rolling boil. You want it to get almost to that point and then turn it off and just let it absorb the excess heat from the particular burner. While you when you put the soap in, you have to stir it. So I'm going to be doing that. I'll be putting it in as I'm grating it. That's the easiest way for me to do it, instead of just doing it all at once. Okay, you're going to want to use a metal spoon to stir this with, because wooden spoons will absorb the fragrance of the soap, and yeah, that's not very good when you're using the particular spoon to make something else food-wise. It'll ruin it. So once you've put the soap, shredded soap, into the stock pot, and it's getting quite hot now. Just want to stir it so that it begins to melt, to disintegrate, or whatever you call it, and it becomes, it just dissolves basically into a watery type substance. It'll be rather milky and slimy, sort of. Keep in mind that all of the flecks will not dissolve, but basically you want to have the majority of the soap dissolved before you even think about taking it off the burner. So I'm going to do that now. And I'm going to pour it into this bucket right here I have prepared on the floor. It's the one that I've been using for months now. So what I'll do is I'll take the lid off, of course, to begin with. Okay, so as you can see, there's still a little bit left from the last time we made soap, and it's kind of a gelatinous substance. It turns kind of a milky white. It's hard to tell, but there's some right there. Anyway, it works really well. Kind of has a, I don't know exactly how to describe, kind of a citrusy smell to it. It's not very strong at all, so if you are allergic to fragrances or have a sensitivity to those, Make sure to smell the soap before you think about using it, because you might be bothered by that. So, okay, I'm going to pour this into here. Before I do that, I want to have my Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda. This is different from just your baking soda or your washing soda. It's your super washing soda. It has to be that in order to be effective in cleaning. What I do is I just have that ready, and I also have my borax also ready beside that, because what you're going to do is, as you're pouring the soap substance in, the liquefied soap into the bucket, you're going to want to pour in this simultaneously with these two, this one and this one. And then you're going to be stirring those so that everything is equally balanced and not sitting at the bottom being inactive. The thing about borax is, if there's any kind of moisture that gets into this box, it tends to become quite hard. So you have to be careful of that as well. And as I'm pouring, I'm just going to be stirring to make sure that everything is becoming equally distributed. So, okay, so once you get the soap and the two different washing sodas in, then you're going to want to fill up the remainder of the space in your bucket with warm tap water. I just have my handy little pitchers ready here. Okay, oh, that's finished, and now all I have left to do is to put the lid on that, take it out to the garage, and let it sit for 24 hours so it can congeal overnight, and then it will be ready for me to use tomorrow. So this is the container we use to hold our finished product. We got this a long time ago, but you can use pretty much any sort of container that's easily able to be poured out of. Another thing you can do is add an essential oil, such as, well, you can use orange oil if you want to add a smell, make it smell good. Just add as many drops as you think is good. 6 drops probably would be sufficient to the completed 5-gallon bucket of your soap, and just stir that around, and that helps it to smell better. Okay, so I hope you found this video to be helpful, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment on the blog post, and I will try to be helpful in that. And if you want the recipe for the actual soap that we based this off of, we'll put a link into this video for you to find that. So take care. Thanks for watching.